So the snow protests disrupted the first day of academic activities at the Nelson Mandela University in Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape. The students are unhappy over unresolved issues, including delays in financial aid clearance and registration for both classes and residences. SABC News Reporter Sisipho Ngcumbe and video journalist Gcobani Blom filed this report.
We are in Gqeberha, outside Nelson Mandela University, where the students have gathered for a protest. If you take a look around me, you can see that the classes have been halted. So what we do know is that today was meant to be the first day of school. The university was meant to be opening today and classes were meant to commence. However, we have received word from students, from student organizations, saying that many students are yet to receive clearance SMSs. Once you receive a clearance SMS, that essentially clears you for funding, meaning that you can go ahead and register for both academic and for residents. So the issues that we see here now is that a lot of the students are crying that they have not received those SMSs. A lot of them are crying that they are hungry. A lot of them are crying that they have not had a safe place to stay. However, to talk to us more about the issues that the students are facing, I have with me the SRC president of the institution, Mr. Latita Mbuzwana. Latita, can you just tell us a little bit about why you guys took to the streets today, interrupting what was meant to begin as the academic year?
All right, thank you very much, Guilty as charged. Indeed, I am Latita Mbuzwana, the SRC president of Nelson Mandela University. I think this was the last resort that we find ourselves in. We had various engagements that led us up to this decision because we said this SRC of the year 2025, let's start the year by having engagements because these are annual issues. They're not new issues, they're issues that constantly happen each and every year. And the best way was to approach them by engaging various departments within the university to ask and understand their plan, propose what we have as the SRC and how best we can agree on how the academic year must operate. Failure to that, we've been sitting in meetings, writing emails, exhausted all channels of communication, exhausted all ways to communicate and try to make our voice heard. But unfortunately, we find ourselves here because our voice was not really taken seriously and we're not heard. And this was the last resort to take.
Latita, can you just tell us specifically what are the issues that the students are crying about today?
All right, I think you can also note that majority of the students at Nelson Mandela University are beneficiaries of NSFAS. So if there's a problem with NSFAS and financial aid, it then becomes a burden of the entire system of the university. We're currently having first year students that are supposed to have been cleared long time ago, haven't been cleared. That's number one. And if you're not cleared yet, it means that you're blocked from getting accommodation. You don't have a place to stay. You don't have accommodation, you don't have something to eat because you're not going to receive any allowance. And that becomes a burden of the SRC and student political parties because if you don't have those necessary basic things in the university, then you are left behind. That's number one. Number two, there's a delay in responses to concessions. That's students that have registered or applied for concessions. They have not till this day been responded to their concession. We've engaged student accounts, but with the arrogance of the management there, we find ourselves here. So if those concessions can be responded to, people can be allowed then to register for accommodation and through for academics. Another issue that we have is that we have high-set students that have not yet been responded to. And that means then they can't go for the mainstream course, which is the diploma. We have advanced diploma students who have not yet been responded to. The current crisis of shuttle services that are not enough. We don't have enough shuttle services. So those are the cries that we have as students and student leaders at Nelson Mandela University currently.
Thank you so much, Latita. That was Latita Mbuzwana, the SRC president, letting us in on some of the issues that students are facing here on campus. We heard him speak about the issue of shuttles, which is the transport that transports the students from where they live to the university. The funding issue, students have no place to stay because they cannot register for funding if they are not cleared by NSFAS and by the school.